Hello, I hope you're well. My name's Jack. We've got Sophie with us and we're doing the musicians tag today. I've not actually seen any of these being done before, so I'm kind of going in this completely blind. Sophie has seen it and we're going to do it. She's going to ask the questions, but we're also going to do one on her channel where I'm going to ask the questions after this. So a link will be in the description if you want to check out her answers. They're probably a lot more interesting than mine. So yeah, whenever you're ready.
It's really both wearing red.
We are both wearing red. Front facing camera as well, but it looks okay in the sun. So we had a day today though. It's the 5th of April and it's been unreal weather for like a week now. But this morning there was snow in everyone's car. So a bit random.
Are you joking?
Sometimes it snows in April. Okay, let's go.
Question number 1. What instrument do you play?
I play guitar, I sing, and I play a little bit of drums as well. Not as good as Sophie, but I play a little bit of drums.
How long have you been playing said instrument?
I've been playing guitar since I was like 6, so how long ago was that?
16.
Is it 16 years? No, it's not.
Yeah. 6.
Yeah, it's 16. I've been playing, you work
16.
out them, you can work out how old I am. About 16 years, yeah.
16.
Singing since I was like 14. So what's that, like 8 years? Drums for a bit longer than that.
8.
Something like that.
Does your instrument have a name? If so, what?
Yeah. So,
If so, what?
okay. So I'll put some pictures on screen here so you can put a guitar to a name. So my Stratocaster, I call it Lucy because the serial number ends in 666 and I thought Lucy would be kind of cool for Lucifer, the devil, you know, that kind of thing. Me Les Paul is called Watson, named after John Watson, who used to work at, oh, I don't know if he still does, but he worked at Guitar in Newcastle. And at the time, before the world stood still, he was going off to be Machine Head's photographer. And it was one of the last guitars he sold as general manager of Guitar Newcastle. So that's called Watson, after him. And my Telecaster is called Jane, after Mary Jane's Last Dance, which is a Tom Petty song.
And Sophie Jane.
And Sophie's middle name. But that wasn't the reason I named it that. I had that guitar before we were going out.
We were friends.
We were friends, but yeah.
How often do you practice?
Every day.
Is that practice or play though?
You see, I think if as long as you're playing, it's classed as a practice for me. Like I think
You don't do like proper practices and like planned out and that though?
I guess like I don't have like a routine of everything I'm gonna practice, but I play and I'll like learn stuff, as in learn new songs and stuff. And I always run scales and kind of like just get me fingers working is what I'm trying to say. I try not to lax on. I try to play at least every day, and I think that classes as at least practicing once a day. But as Eric Clapton said, every time you pick up the guitar, you should play it as if it's the last time you're gonna play it, and that's kind of what I go by. Because if there's a day where I don't pick it up, I'll probably regret it. And if I pick it up for like 2 minutes and play 2 chords, then what's the point? You might as well, you know, have a bit of a bash. So I kind of just shred out, and that classes as practice to me.
What's your favourite note to play?
Yeah, I had a quick look at the questions before we started, like last night.
That was the thing you had, a favourite note.
Yeah, this question I was like,
If you had to choose.
I guess I love an F sharp, if I'm honest. Yeah, certain notes remind me of certain riffs, if that makes sense. So when I think of G, I think of the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, and then when I think of A, I think of like Rosalie or Highway to Hell or something like that.
When you think of F sharp, do you think of Foxy Lady? Well, that is that.
Yeah, that is F sharp. Yeah.
What note do you absolutely hate to play? Or do you want to move on?
The highest note on the bottom E string, because it's an absolute nightmare to reach. If you're a guitar player, I think that would probably the worst note, just because it's right up there, especially on a Les Paul. You're not gonna get it.
Who's your favourite composer? But you can go songwriter as well.
I'll do both. I guess composer, I'm gonna go with Box Carter. For the that one. Not Ski Sunday, the other one.
So
oh man, I have a better answer for mine. I've already done mine though.
We can add it in here if you like.
Well, I said Box Carter because of the that one. But Jeff Wynne, that's who I should have said.
And who's he?
He wrote The War of the Worlds, or at least the musical adaptation of. I should have said that. I might cut this bit out and put it in my video. But songwriter, it's gotta be Bryan Adams.
I think it was Chris.
Chris is pretty good as well. Yeah, I'd say Chris Stapleton and Bryan Adams.
Who are your musical influences?
Bryan Adams, Chris Stapleton, Tom Petty. But then if we're going back further, like into what kind of inspired us to play music, then we're talking like AC/DC, Iron Maiden,
School of Rock.
the whole School of Rock cast from the film. Yeah.
What is your favourite classical piece to play or pop piece? Let's just go. What's your favourite thing to play?
No, I'll answer the classical thing because I did think
Really?
about it. Well, so I don't play piano, but I dabble when I'm kind of, you know, messing around with song ideas and stuff. The only thing I can really play on piano is it called Felice or Pharrell's? The na 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 na. So I can play that. And I could probably play that on guitar as well. If it's classical piece, yes, I'll go with that. And then if it's just any piece to play on guitar, if we're talking about a rock piece, it's got to be something like Rosalie.
It's an easy one. Favourite genre?
Well, it's not an easy one because I like lots of music.
Yeah, but your favourite's country rock.
Yeah, I guess country would probably be my favourite genre now. But I love rock, I love blues. I like when they're all kind of conjoined in the same thing, which is why I like people like Chris Stapleton, because, you know, there's elements of rock in there and then there's bluesy stuff and, you know, that kind of thing.
Who's your favourite solo artist?
Bryan Adams, Tom Petty, Chris Stapleton. It's kind of tied for 3, really.
What musicians have you seen live? But let's just cut it down to top 3.
Bryan Adams.
Chris.
I haven't seen Chris. I'd love to see Chris. I would have loved to have seen Tom as well, but unfortunately he's not with us anymore. Top 3. Well, Brian's number 1 easily. I've seen him 4 times, and the last time we saw him together in Liverpool, that was just unbelievable. Like, best concert I've ever seen. Absolutely amazing. Probably Iron Maiden, maybe be number 2. I'm gonna say Kiss for number 3 because I always wanted to see them, and I saw them on their farewell tour like 2 years ago. The farewell tour that's still going on. They were just spectacular. I mean, I know it's a gimmick with all the kind of, you know, the explosions and stuff, but that kind of made the show, and I really enjoyed it. So I think I'm gonna say Kiss for number 3.
If you could perform with any musician, who would you want to perform with?
Bryan Adams. Chris Stapleton, Tom Petty if he was still here. But then I'm gonna go one further. If we're saying having a jam, because I think there's a difference. I think performing like I'd love to perform with Bryan Adams playing, you know, a show. But if we're talking about like a jam, Keith Scott, Bryan Adams guitar player, Mike Campbell, who is Tom Petty's guitar player in the Heartbreakers. Probably any of the lads from Iron Maiden. The list could go on here, but I'm going to stop there.
Oh, if you could learn to play any other instrument, what would it be?
Piano, but learn properly and not just mess about.
Which instrument do you like the least? This is that in the world here.
Yeah. I don't know. There's not many instruments I don't like. I wasn't a huge fan of steel drums until you kind of ended my life, to be fair.
About a didgeridoo? Would you rather listen to a didgeridoo over a steel pan though?
No. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of an instrument that I really don't like.
Whistle?
No. I like a penny whistle. My dad plays one, believe it or not. No, I can't think of an instrument that I really don't like.
There'll be one.
There might be. Not a huge sitar fan.
What? I like a sitar.
I prefer a banjo. I know that's like completely different, but okay, I'm gonna say sitar.
Okay. What activities are you involved with at school / your community, etc.?
I'm not in school anymore, but when I was in school, I wasn't in choir or orchestra, which were the main activities in school for music. But I did quite a lot of the school shows, and when they did like, you know, charity fundraisers and stuff like that. And then I was also in a theatre company called Enter CIC, which was based in South Durham, and they're still going, and they put on a lot of shows, and they did a lot of charity work, and they did teaching and stuff. I actually, believe it or not, I did teach for about 6 months. I don't know if you knew that. Fantastic company, and they put on some great shows. And I guess that was kind of a while ago. I'm not really involved in anything like that now.
If you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I mean, God, that's a big question. I guess like dream venues would be places like Madison Square Garden. And I mean, I'd love to play the Cavern Club. A huge milestone for me was playing the Clooney. I had the honour of playing there twice.
I'd like to play that one. It looks like a rock. It's like outside. It's in America.
Oh, Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be unreal. The thing is, all over the planet, there's amazing places to play. There's amazing venues like that, you know, architecturally look amazing. I mean, we've played some amazing places too, but I mean, the dream would be like, you know, some of the places in America would be pretty sick. Actually, I'm going to change my answer completely. Just overall, Nashville.
Just in general.
I don't care where. Nashville.
Well, we can do that.
That's
possible.
The Bluebird bar, that would be sick.
Yeah.
So where they play like in the Nashville TV show, that would be sick.
I've seen that one. What made you want to learn an instrument?
I watched School of Rock when I was 6, and I turned to my dad when the film finished. I said, Dad, I want to play guitar. And my dad was like, well, I used to play guitar when I was young. And he went to the loft, and in the loft was his guitar that he had when he was 17. And obviously I was 6 years old, so it was like massive. I couldn't play it. So then they got me a 3/4. Well, actually it wasn't even that. It was like a quarter-size guitar. It was really small. It couldn't actually tune up to standard pitch. The scale length was that small. And I learnt on that for about a year or so. And then I went to get real lessons, and I got a full-size guitar, and that was kind of it. So School of Rock, yeah, massive inspiration. I remember it still now, watching it on TV and turning to my dad, and yeah, I was just amazed that like this music existed. I think I knew that kind of music before I watched it, just from being in my mum and dad's car, but I never really took it that seriously because my dad's a huge fan of Iron Maiden and AC/DC and bands like that. I guess once I watched that film, I never looked back. So yeah, School of Rock, 6 years old.
There you go.
Still one of my favourite films. We're going to see it actually, aren't we? We're going to go see it in theatres.
Yeah.
If and when things open again, hopefully.
Wow, oh, this is quite a deep one.
Right.
Philosophical.
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 That's going in.
Why do you continue to play?
I just love it. I think if I can be serious, genuinely, I think everyone on the planet has a purpose, and everyone has like their own thing and something that they're good at. And I think for me, that's music. I remember when I grew up, right, we've talked about this a lot. You were involved in music and you loved music, but you did lots of other things.
I did everything under every club.
Yeah,
going.
You did like sports stuff to like Beavers and Cubs, and you've been involved in a lot of stuff, right? I haven't. I always just did music. I saw School of Rock. I listened to those albums that were on that show. The bit where he hands all the records out and he says, "Oh, listen to Roundabout." I listened to those albums and those songs. I still have the School of Rock soundtrack, and I was only ever obsessed with music. And throughout school, you know, I never joined any of those. Like I said, I didn't really join any of the clubs because all I was interested in was playing music. It's all I can do. I'm not qualified to do anything else. I just kind of do it, and I still love it. Every time I pick up a guitar or I sing, or at the minute doing live streams, because gigs can't happen at the minute, but they're coming back next month hopefully. I just get a rush. I get like it's like an adrenaline thing. I just get like a thing that keeps spurring me on to do it again and again until it's kind of not fun anymore. So, and it hasn't stopped yet. So I'm gonna keep going until I'm fed up, I guess. But I just really enjoy it. Probably the same as you, I imagine.
Very deep.
Yeah. Check out Sophie's answers in the description if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm not giving anything away.
Yeah, poker face, not going to say anything until it's your turn.
The last question.
Uh-huh.
Did you see how random it was?
Yes, is it the animal question?
What's your favourite animal to round off with?
Tiger.
Tiger.
That was really good. I really enjoyed that. It is, yeah. Thank you very much. That has been the musician tag. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe if you fancy. This is a bit different to what I'm usually doing. I usually do just covers and general guitar type videos, but I thought we'll do something a bit fun this week. Like I say, Sophie's going to bring hers out on her channel. Link will be in the description. And yeah, is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to plug while you're here?
No. Watch my video.
See you later. Cheers. Thank you.